Hey guys, welcome to Got Games Fitness. I'm your host, Chris Powers or Chris Coach, however you want to go about it. And today we'll be reviewing a YouTube video that I have for us about the weight of a nation. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
Yeah, it's a perfect storm of, a lot of really bad factors that have gotten us here.
Factors like big plates, big portions, big advertising. Food is everywhere in our society.
We eat it when we are sad, we eat it when we are happy, and we eat it when we have nothing to do. So it has, our whole culture is circled around. I mean, how many food channels on TV we have?
Food is ubiquitous. It's everywhere you look. When I was young, the only thing that a gas station had was a gum machine.
Yeah, no, y'all think about that? Think about that. If you think back to a lot of them older movies, even back when I was a kid, back in the 90s, you had movies in the 60s and 70s, and that was like, they weren't old, but when they went in, they just really had a gumball machine or them little quarter machines where you get the little doohickeys out, them little cheap toys and stuff. And let's continue.
Now there are sodas, candy, chips right at your fingertips. Grocery stores have changed too.
In the 1970s, there were anywhere from 10 to 15,000 products in a supermarket. Now the supermarket sizes have gotten much bigger, and you're talking anywhere from 50 to 80,000 products. Those are not better varieties of.
Just think about that. Think about that. She said 10 to 15, and you go from that many products in the grocery store. And back then, it was probably a little more healthy for you than all the ultra processed foods that we have now. You went from 15,000 to 50 to 85,000. God, depending on how you look at it, 3 to 6.
Fruit and vegetables,
increase.
Usually it has more to do with processed food.
A processed food is any food that has been altered in some way during preparation. Not all are unhealthy. This milk, for example, is processed, but many contain a lot of salt, sugar, and fat to make it last longer and taste better.
It's widely available.
Okay, guys, one thing I want to say also, typically, the better the food tastes, the more processed it is. Like, they have to really process foods for it to taste delicious. Like, I'm talking about, like, your chips and your stuff like that. Even I got an order of like popcorn, and like I said, high in fat, high in calories, high in sodium, but it is delicious. I don't eat a lot of it at a time, but like I said, I snack, I get a half of a serving or something every so often, but like it's the best popcorn I ever had, but it is highly processed. A lot of times the better something tastes, in most instances, unless it's natural food or you're just cooking, it is bad.
Inexpensive, and it tastes really good. It's designed to make people overweight, although that's not the intent.
Look at that. One meal. That's that dish I think that was on the screen a minute ago. 29 grams of fat. 13 grams of saturated fat. This is bad enough. Now you got saturated fat, and on top of that, it got 0.5 trans fat. That is a no. God, 200 milligrams of sodium. I think the daily intake of sodium, depending on what you're doing, is like 2,400. So now we got 30 carbs. Got dietary fiber. 5 of them is sugar, including 2 added sugars, and 43 grams of protein. I never argue with protein, but also you got to depend on what kind of protein you're getting. You got to look at the ingredients, and I guarantee if you look at the ingredients, there's a million ingredients, and whenever you have a lot of ingredients on anything, it's probably bad for you. Let's continue.
But that's the consequence.
If you doubt that, consider a study by the National Institute of Health. For 2 weeks, one group ate highly processed food. Another group ate unprocessed food. Over those 2 weeks, the processed food group gained 2 pounds. The non-processed food group lost 2 pounds.
But the reality is our reliance on the quick and easy meal is likely here to stay.
People have been cooking a lot less, and so people are looking for convenience foods. And I think we have to realize that that is kind of the new norm. People are spending less time cooking.
Even if you want to cook from scratch, raw, healthy food can be expensive.
You can literally feed terribly your family for $20 if you want to just give them junk food. But to do it properly, it's a family of 3 to eat a healthy meal could cost, like, it could get exorbitant.
Costly and hard to.
Now I will say that, like, let's just say you went in there and you got $20. You can go in there because I used to eat back in the day them Tortino pizzas. They was like $1, and like I say, we get, I don't know, 10 to 15 of them, and we eat 2 at a time. I was a fat kid. If I can find a picture, I'll put it on here. But I look like Professor Clump when I was growing up. Like, see, we pigged out. I didn't know nothing about fitness, none of that. I was just eating to be eating. I was fat as hell. But like I say, let's take it for instance now. I don't even think I see those pizzas anymore. But let's just say you went in there with $20. I could probably get 3 Red Baron pizzas that could be, you know what I'm saying, to feed my family for a day. Versus now that same $20, if I wanted to go in there, I couldn't even buy a good thing of lean beef. Like, lean beef is like $30 by itself, and that's just beef. There's nothing else, none of that. Now, if I got some turkey meat might, you know what I'm saying. I think turkey meat is like 13, but still, what else can I get? Maybe turkey meat and, I don't know, a couple of cans of green beans, possibly, but that only feed us 2 times instead of the 3 times. But anyway, y'all get what I'm saying. And it is cheaper to buy garbage than it is to pay for healthy foods.
Come by in some poor neighborhoods where regular grocery stores are non-existent, and that's a problem that's hard to fix.
It's not realistic to think we're going to have, big brick and mortar projects coming into a lot of neighborhoods. Most chains are not looking to build more stores. It's a very high risk venture, and it is not easy to do that in any area, let alone in lower income neighborhoods where maybe the chances of recouping your costs are less. It's a very small profit margin industry.
And while we're eating more processed foods more often, we're moving much less.
We see that there's a lot less physical activity. Students don't necessarily have to have recess anymore.
Coming through.
We're much more sedentary. We don't have physical jobs the way we used to.
Now we don't even go to grocery store. We just order it.
That's true too. You got Uber Eats now. If you're going, okay. One thing about me, like, if you're going, I don't know, if you just want to eat out, at least go get off your ass and go get the food. Like, my God, some people sit on the couch, sit on their phone. I've never Uber eat food, or I don't even know how the process works, but you know what I'm saying? They drop the crap off at the door and then you just get up, you know what I'm saying, get your highly processed garbage that you're about to eat and sit back down. And now you really hadn't moved, I don't know, maybe 10 steps to get to the door, back into to the sofa, and you just sit back down, and you might be sitting there for another couple of hours, depending on what you're watching. And then if you're watching Netflix, now you done binge something. Now you ain't moved in the last 5 hours because the show was just incredible. You see how that could be bad? And on top of that, God forbid if you're drinking alcohol on top of whatever you just had. You know what I'm saying? So it's horrible. It's horrible. I see 4,000 calories in the immediate future just off that little meal. It's horrible. Sorry about that little rant.
I don't know. What is next? Somebody's going to put food in our mouth? That would be awesome, right? We won't have to do anything, just chew.
Mindy Becerra, WBAL, TV 11 News.
All right, so some of the solutions that have shown some success include monetary incentives for food stamp recipients to purchase fruits and vegetables, as well as taxing sugary beverages like soda and creating more green space for recreation.
All right. That was it for that video. That's the only one I wanted to do for today. But let me say something also. Also, in different areas, you have different foods. So I stay in I guess you can say, well-to-do area or whatever, and we have a lot of healthy foods. And a lot of times when you go to get those healthy foods, a lot of them are gone because people are health conscious. Like, people are eating healthy in this area. You know what I'm saying? Typically, when you're in a more upscale area, people tend to take care of the health. So then I'm going back to my hometown to where, the area is kind of poverty stricken or whatever. And I went to the grocery store or Walmart to get some of these same items. And he was like, man, we don't have that stuff here. He said, don't want nobody buy it. So, you know what I'm saying? With that being said, that in some areas that they just don't even serve those healthier foods because they know no one to buy them because they're less likely to afford them. So you may have to even travel to get the healthier items if you wanted them. So just keep that in mind. But that's it today. I mean, that's it for today's video, guys. If you will, please hit the like button. That help my channel out, help me grow and get other people to see this. And if you like what you heard, hey, subscribe. I appreciate it. But that's it for today, and I appreciate you guys for watching. And until next time, peace.